Welcome, pimps and hoes. This is the Fake Stuff Fantasy Podcast, and it is playoff season. What's up, cuz?
Hey, I like it. You did pretty good on that intro. I
No
was
doubt.
uh I was a little scared of it. I didn't want to do the whole intro part, so I passed it on to you, and I think you should do it every single time. But Ian, before we get started, I got to know how you feeling right now about them teams. How's it going in your leagues right now?
Man, it's good and bad. It's a little stressful. I mean, Dynasty, my team's finally coming together. I'm sitting at the top spot right now, feeling pretty good. Um, Average Joe's, I'm getting hot. One of my redraft leagues, I'm starting to get hot, but I think it might be a little too late. Too late. And then in our champion league, man, our Yahoo league, our hard league, dude, I'm right there on the edge. Gets pretty good players. It's hard to know, man. But there's a couple guys that hold the top spot in those redraft leagues that look impenetrable, man. But I mean, I feel good. I'm not terrible. Any given Sunday, man, it could happen. You just got to keep on it. Put in the right people. Like I messed up. I didn't start Josh Jacobs this week, but
He didn't have that great of a game.
I was happy for it, man. I was happy for it. So hopefully, everybody else does good, man. I'm off to Buymageddon. We got through Buymageddon, and there's only a couple more bye weeks left. So hopefully, we can get this thing done, man. But I feel real good at Dynasty. I feel like I could really compete for a championship there. But we'll have to see, man. What about you? How you feeling, dude?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good in most of my leagues. I got 5 leagues that I care about, and every single one of them, I'm technically in the playoffs as we speak. Dynasty League, one of my Dynasty Leagues, I'm in first. My other Dynasty League, man, that our Dynasty League is about to piss me off because I'm sitting there with the most points in the league, and I'm sitting there in 6th place, and I pretty much like dire. I need a win. I had Saquon tonight. He didn't do shit. I traded for
Yeah.
Lamar. Traded for Lamar Jackson. He has been absolute trash, and just like it's just one of the things. But as far as redraft goes, I don't know why you were underselling Yahoo. Like, if you can make the playoffs in that league, it's tough. And me and you were sitting in like I think I'm 5 and you're 6, or
Yeah,
4
like
and
5
5
and
or
6.
something like
Yeah,
that. But
we're
we're
right
we're
there.
pretty much, yeah, we're pretty much like gotta have a win. Maybe
Yep.
maybe one win will get it, maybe 2 wins will get it, but we're neck and neck right now in
Yeah,
this
we
league.
are.
Like, got to win. And then Average Joe's looking pretty good right now. I think I'm in the playoffs unless something crazy happens.
Yeah, I'm like you
Uh,
at Average Joe's, man. I got pretty good points scored, but scored against, dude. I've got the most points scored against me, dude. And I keep looking at my team, thinking about doing trades and stuff, and I'm like, but my team doesn't look that bad. But I mean, I got a bunch of points scored against me, and I'm about average, league average on points for. So yeah, dude, I've just had some tough matchups, man. But like I said, I mean, my team's getting hot, so hopefully, hopefully I can pull it out, dude. But I'm really excited about Dynasty, man.
yeah, I know you are. It's one of them things. I asked you, like, what's your most important leagues right now, and you said Yahoo's obviously at the top. We've been running that league for 10, 11 years now. But Dynasty, I mean,
It's my little
you
brainchild.
yeah, your brainchild. You build that team for years and years to get it the way you want. So, and I'm the same way. I'm like, God, I got it just the way I want it right now. Like, why can't I freaking win? So,
Yep.
and you're sitting there in first place right now, and everybody's like, you were down there like missing the playoffs like 2-3 weeks ago. So it's
Yeah.
like
I went on a
that's how
streak.
tight that league is.
Yep. Went on a streak. Lost Scatterboo. Lost Pacheco for a while.
That's all you
Yeah.
needed to start winning, I guess.
Yeah. Scatterboo go down, man. Imagine if I had him though.
I know.
That team is rock solid, bro. I appreciate that JSN. That was huge.
I was I was talking to Levi the other day about that. I said, "What are the chances I trade you JSN, just JSN in general? Let's just forget the trade to begin with. But what are the chances Sam Darnold comes over to Seattle playing with a new quarterback? What are the chances that JSN even finishes as a top 5 guy this year before the year started? Probably like 10% chance, maybe.
Higher than that. I feel like you said top 10 guy.
Top 5.
Top 5. Oh yeah. I mean, it's not very high. Yeah, it wasn't very high, but I mean, I saw the potential of him last year. He looked good. Last year with Geno, and he was starting to come into his own, man. And I'm not sure where he finished last year, but
I think he was top 10 last year.
Yeah, but I mean, I just see the players I want. I take my shot, man. I did the same thing with T. Higgins and Brandon Ayuk, but as soon as I got Ayuk, dude, he just turned into a chandelier, man. I'd been sitting on my bench forever. So, but yeah, JSN, solid, super solid. And Rashee Rice Street come back.
Oh man, yeah, that's what's carrying your fantasy team up to the top right there. Rashee Rice coming back, that was huge.
Yeah.
Getting him back.
Yeah, and traded for HN and drafted Gibbs. I mean, it's been solid, dude.
Freaking HN. You got him for Stephon Diggs in a dynasty league. Stephon Diggs and Cole Kmet.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds crazy now, but at the time, Stephon Diggs and Cole Kmet were eating. But
they were.
Before we get started, we're going to talk about we're going to go over the NFC in this episode. We're going to talk about all the teams that are, we're going to go off the playoff picture, what it's looking like, talk about some fantasy implications, what players we think is going to go off in the playoffs, like what players you want, where we went right. I'm going to try that one more time. Where we went right. Try to say that 5 times fast. And where we went wrong. In these episodes, just talking about some players on these teams. But before we get started, Matt would always say, Matt's not here tonight, obviously. Don't be a hoe.
Share the
show. Matt, you got anything to say about that before we get going right here?
Yeah, man. Like you said, dude, like, subscribe, share us around. I try to do it any chance I get, man. I'm not the best about it, but yeah, dude, any amount of vision anywhere, man, is always good. And yeah, if you're listening, we really appreciate it. And hopefully you learn some stuff. Comment on it, man. Teach us some stuff. Tell us where we go wrong. We can fight about it. We don't like to fight, but I'm pretty good at it. So let's get to it like it ain't nothing to it.
And we are not the experts. If you listen to us, we're pretty much just some guys talking some fantasy football. There's not a whole lot out there. Everybody claims that they know exactly what's going to happen. But in our episodes, we pretty much just share opinions, and you can side on whatever side you want to land on and agree or disagree with whatever bullshit kind of comes out of our mouths when we open them. So, but there ain't no bullshit coming out of my mouth when I say the Los Angeles Rams are 9-2, number 1 seed in the NFC, beating a couple teams in that division that are tough with Seattle and San Fran right on their heels. So, Ian, before the season, let's go back. Like, how did you feel about the Rams? Are they right where you expected them? How are the players, fantasy-wise, doing on this team that as far as their draft capital win in the fantasy draft?
Yeah, man. That's your first question. Beginning of the season, I felt really good about the Rams, especially when they acquired Devontae Adams. I really wanted some shares of Devontae with Matt Stafford. I mean, I felt like that was a good. I didn't get any. It just the cards didn't fall right where I could get them, man. But I really like Devontae Adams coming into this thing, and I think the Rams are right where they should be. I mean, go back to last year, dude. The Eagles barely squeaked by with that playoff win to knock them out. And then, the Eagles went off to blow everybody else out for the rest of the thing, man. So it's one play away from them being Super Bowl winners probably last year. But I think they're right where they need to be, dude. The team is clicking. The defense is on point. When it comes to the fantasy, defense is nasty. When it comes to the fantasy players, I mean, Kyron, he's doing super solid. I mean, he's not your RB1, but I think where he went in the draft, he's not killing you. No. And I mean, who else they got? Puka gets them all the way down the field. Devontae gets the touchdowns. I mean, they got a well-oiled machine going on, and Matt Stafford, he's super solid too, man. I mean, he's been
MVP, man.
He's been put up some good points, dude. And I mean, everybody's eating over there, dude. They just got it going on. Like, they can't do any wrong right now. I mean, they just look so disciplined. Very, very few penalties. I mean, they know how to ball, and they're balling, and they're showing out.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Like the Puka thing, like he's just a yards machine. I mean, he's probably going over 1,500 yards this year. He's actually stayed healthy. He's just a hardcore, hard-nosed receiver, old school guy. Goes out there and gets all the yards. And then Devontae, he's just – I think he got to be the best separator in space that I've seen, like just in short area space. Like you put him – he got option routes on the goal line. It's like you can do a slant, you can do a fade right here, and Matthew Stafford and him are just on point. They're very smart players. But so where we could go with where we went right here, I'm not going to do this with every team, but – episode earlier in the season for sleepers and all that, I said Matthew Stafford, because if you have two receivers going in the first 3 rounds in a redraft setting, Matthew Stafford's going to have to pan out, and the touchdowns are going to have to start going to the passing game rather than Kyron running them in every time. But Kyron, like you said, he hasn't been winning anybody leagues because the touchdowns are going to Adams a lot, but he's still scoring enough, and he's their main running back. So Rams looking great right now. I'm gonna go ahead and say this number 2 seed, and it's gonna make me puke I'm gonna puke everywhere. Chicago Bears at 9-3. They just beat the Philadelphia Eagles a couple hours ago in Philadelphia. Both running backs in that game went for over 100 yards, Swift and Manungai. Ben Johnson come over in. I'll go to where we went wrong. Their win total was at 8.5 before the season started. I was like, that's the easiest 8.5 you can hit of all time, hitting the under.
Of course.
Screw me, woof on that one. But the Bears are winning the NFC North, which is a tough division. I want to hear what you got to say about that. Try to be as unbiased as you can, because I really want to hate on them, but damn, like they just keep doing it.
No, you're right, man, and I want to hate on them too, but it's a sigh of relief almost to see them doing good, man, because I hate them. I do hate them, but it's our biggest rival, and you kind of want it to be competitive a little bit. And honestly, they're a little bit scary, bro. Like nobody really knew if it was going to work out with Ben and Caleb. I mean, Caleb went 1 overall, but it happens a lot of time that number 1 guy, they get in a bad system with bad players. I mean, they go to the worst team in the league. They go to the worst team in the league with a coach that's on the hot seat. You know what I mean? But he come in and didn't do good who was their coach before Ben Johnson? I can't remember.
I'm gonna say a name, but I'm not sure. I think it was Matt Eberflus last year.
I think you're right, man. But Ben Johnson has just been electric and amazing, and he's a leader of men. There's no doubt about it. He's just got those boys clicking on all gears, and Caleb Williams looks comfortable. They're moving the ball. The defense is locking down, and I mean they're getting hot at the right fucking time, dude. And it's kind of scary, bro. It is kind of scary. The Lions, and that just touching on the Lions for a second. I mean, you could see the loss. I mean, they still got the players that still put their movements, their formations, the pre-snap stuff that they do. It's not as crisp. It's just not there like it was last year, man. And you could tell it's a big difference. It's a big loss. And the Bears are going to have Johnson for a long time, bro. It's going to be a changing of the guard, man. So hopefully we can keep up. But yeah, no, the Bears are hot, dude. If you got any players on the Bears, you're looking good right now. You probably look like a moron beginning of the season when you drafted them, but right now.
I was going to cut on that, because as far as the Bears are doing, they're great, but their fantasy players haven't really been all that good. I mean, Swift has been fine. Monangai was a definite steal off free agency. But as far as the receivers go, Roma
Right.
Dunze kind of started off hot, and then he's cooled off significantly. DJ Moore's been practically useless all season long. Colson Loveland looks like he's starting to try to break out as a rookie, so maybe next year he'll be a higher draft pick. But people underestimate the play calling on teams, I feel like, and I think we did too. It's just like Ben Johnson coming over. When you got somebody in your quarterback's ear every single play who knows how to call a game, and just like tonight when they beat the Eagles, it's like, well, we're not gonna fight what they're giving us. We're just gonna run the ball over and over again. I mean, who rushes for 200 yards against the Eagles? I mean, it's freaking crazy. They went out, they just retooled their whole offensive line, and that's what wins games is the offensive line.
Yep.
So the Bears are looking pretty good, but that's where I could say I went wrong on the Bears. But Ian, let's go ahead and move on to.
Before you move on, I mean, everybody did. I mean, coming into the season, 8 games was huge for them. I mean, you could name probably on one hand how many people picked the Bears to have a winning season this year, dude. I mean,
nobody picked them to win the division, and they're on top. They still got to play Packers twice.
Yeah,
and we're right behind them. We're only a half game behind because of the tie. So, but still, I mean, they look like they're bound for the playoffs at this point, especially after tonight.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they beat the Eagles. We lost to the Eagles. So, yeah, dude, it's kind of a scary squad over there, but just got to figure out how to stop what they got. And if you could stop that run game, I mean, I think you could take them to the house. If you stop that run game, make them pass the ball, send Parsons at them, it can get ugly.
All right, well, let's move on to the number 3 seed, winning their first in the NFC East, the team we just talked about, the Eagles. As far as fantasy goes in, man, Saquon, not good. Not what you wanted. He was like the number 1, 2, 3 pick. And I think I got it right here. Let's see. After tonight, you got Saquon Barkley. He is at the RB14 right now. Not what you want. He's behind Ashton Genty, and I know you had Ashton Genty. He's behind Travis Etienne, Kyron Williams. Rico Dowdle is ahead of Saquon. I needed him. I got him in Dynasty. I've been counting on him, but I just don't know. Let's hit on Saquon real quick before we talk about the receivers. I mean, what do you feel about Saquon? Is he bound to break out, or is it just going to be the same old for the rest of the season?
I mean, I don't think he's bound to break out. I don't think it's something that
Is he gonna get back to maybe not all the way of last year, but is he going to become a top 5 running back rest of the season?
I mean, he could. I mean, it's a hard stretch. I mean, they would really have to go off, and just stay with the run, but they really haven't been able to for whatever reason, one reason or another. I mean,
it's because they can't get it going.
It's hard to say.
Get it going.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the offensive line or what it is. And in my opinion, it probably is the offensive line, dude. I don't know what changes they made, but
he's averaging 3.7 a carry this year. You want to take a guess at how many yards per carry he was averaging last year?
6.
Yeah, 5.8. 5.8 yards a carry last year. He's averaging 3.7. He's got 684 yards and 4 touchdowns this year on the ground. He went for over 2,000 last year with 13 last year. There's only about 5 games left in the NFL season, so he might touch 1,000 yards this year. So you're talking, you get half of Saquon Barkley from last year.
Yeah, and even half of Saquon Barkley is still really, really good, but he's not doing
what you
wanted him to do. No, and I mean, I think teams just realized that if they could shut down the run, they could beat the Eagles. You know what I mean? And AJ and Devontae, neither one of them really have been doing great. But yeah, I mean, teams have just decided to sell out for the run and make Jalen throw it, and the tush push hasn't been as successful. I mean, it's still successful,
They're
but
not getting down there as much as they
they're
were.
not. Yeah, they're not getting to the end zone. Saquon's not breaking off those 60, 70, 80-yard runs, and a lot of that comes with blocking downfield and people staying to the block. And I
Well,
mean,
I think Saquon looks a little bit. I think he's at this point when you're a running back and you're used to being that good behind that offensive line, and it's just like you want to try to break every run, and I feel like it's just not coming this year. So before we get off the Eagles, Ian, what do you think about them rest of the season? Are they still a Super Bowl contender, or are you off the Eagles? Like where you at as far as like the teams we talked about with the Bears, and we'll get on to some other teams and the Rams, stuff like that. I mean, they did beat the Rams earlier in the season, so
yeah, I mean, I still think they're Super Bowl contenders. Until you prove me otherwise. I mean, they're still top of that division. 8-4. 2-2 in the division, but I still think they're Super Bowl contenders, man. I mean, they won it last year. They got a great coach. They got a really, really good defense, but they're just gonna have to lock in, man. And I think they just had so much negative stuff in the media and a lot of outside noise, and I think it's affecting them. But I think it's one of those teams that they got a bunch of grown men and they pull it together, they can really do it. I mean, 2-3 years ago, they started off like
they're always getting hated on. Like they
yeah,
always do some shit to get hated on, especially on the offensive side of the ball, where they're just the Philly media is just tearing them apart even after they win games. So
yeah. They started a couple years ago. They started off like 0-6, and they won like 11 straight. To make it to the playoffs, and I think they ended up losing to San Francisco or something. But I mean, they're one of those teams that could just if they get hot at the right time, they can do it. But it's going to be hard, man. I mean, Dallas looks good. It's a lot of teams that are kind of getting hot at the right times, dude. And I don't know, they're going to put some shit together, dude. But if people see that they can bleed now, and it's not looking good. They gotta figure something out, man. They gotta get Saquon going.
And they might be figuring the Eagles out a little bit, but maybe a Super Bowl hangover. But next team, the number 4 seed. I don't feel like they should be the number 4 seed, but they play in a shit division. The NFC South. You got the Panthers. You got the Saints. You got the Falcons. And we got to talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they're leading the division, number 3 seed, or number 4 seed, my bad. What do we think about Tampa? Is this a team that's going to make a run in the playoffs? Like, where are we at? Where are we at with Tampa right now, Ian?
Yeah, man, Tampa is hard to say, bro, because they started off really hot. Then they went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-0 to start the season.
And they went 6 in a row to start the season?
Yeah.
Is that right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
And they won all them games by less than 7 points, or pretty much like less than 4 points, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There were a bunch of really close games. I mean, they beat the Niners by 20 or 11 points, but yeah, I mean, they were all really close games, and
they lost 5 straight.
They lost. Yeah, they lost to the Lions. They won against the Saints. Lost to the Patriots, Bills, and Rams. So, but I mean,
6-5.
Yeah, they lost Mike Evans. Mecca was showing out, but he got
not as much anymore.
Yeah, they kind of got him figured out. They sold out to cover him. The running game's not great.
Getting Bucky Irvin back. Hey, what do you think about that rest of the season, fantasy wise?
We'll have to see, man. He had a lower body injury, didn't he?
I can't remember. He did have a lower body. I think they said it was a shoulder and a toe, maybe.
Yeah.
But his was weird because when he got hurt, he played in the same game that he got hurt in. He actually came back, and then he's been out since week 3. He got injured in week 3. He came back in week 3, and he's been out since. They didn't put him on IR, and we're going on to week 13 now, and he's He's finally coming back. So I'm just wondering, like,
Yeah,
if you got Bucky, you're obviously disappointed by where you drafted him, but
right.
is he going to be like a league winner? Do you just slot him right back in at the back of the first round, second round pick? Is he that good of a player rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good player, dude, and I think he's definitely gonna have an impact, in real and fantasy football. It's hard to say, depending on your team, whether he's a lock or not. I mean, if you got 2 or 3 good running backs, and
Oh, he's in the lineup as soon as he comes back.
yeah, I mean, he's kind of one of those guys because he really can blow up. But I think he can be a league winner. I mean, he looks really good, and that team is really good. And like you said, I mean, they're in a bad division. They probably got some division games coming up. I mean, they got the Saints, the Falcons, the Panthers, Dolphins, Panthers. So
they got to play all them shitty ass teams from the South, so they can go on a run right
so
here.
they could go on a run, man, get hot at the last minute and do the damn thing. I mean, Baker, there's no quitting Baker. He's a great leader. Todd Bowles, he's a quiet giant, man. I mean, I lost respect for Todd Bowles a while back, but I gained it back with these Buccaneers, man. I mean, I think he's in the right spot, and I think Baker's in the right spot, and they got some pieces. I think Mike Evans is coming back. I know I picked him up off of waivers like last week. Hopefully, if he goes back, he could I could slot him in there, and he could take me to the dance. But I think it's still a good team, dude. Like you said, in a bad division. So they definitely got a chance, man. All you got to do is make it to the dance, and then it's day to day.
What do you think about the Buccaneers if they make the playoffs? You think they're one and done? I kind of do, because their pass defense is absolutely atrocious. I mean, they lost Jamel Dean, who was like, he was up there with Patrick Surtain this year at number 1 cornerback this year. And when they lose him, their pass defense was already looking a little rough. I mean, you seen what Stafford did to him last week. It was over within 5 minutes of the game. I mean, it was completely done. So
just do whatever they wanted to on him, man.
Gotta figure it out.
Yeah, I don't
figure it out.
I don't think this is their year, but I think it'll be one of those teams that could mess it up for somebody else. I mean, they got a bunch of division games coming down, so I don't know if that'll happen. But if they get to the playoffs and somebody has a bad day, dude, they could win it. But like you said, I mean, defense wins championships, so I don't think they got it.
All right, next one. Where we were wrong. Ian, I want you to say that because you ain't said it like you got to say where we were wrong real quick.
Where we were wrong.
Where we were wrong. Seattle Seahawks. Man, I thought they were going to be straight trash. That's 2 years in a row for me picking teams that were going to be straight trash. I picked the Broncos last year with Bo Nix coming in, and then I got Seattle this year with Sam Darnold taking over. But Sam Darnold looks like he got that shit figured out. JSN, number 1 wide receiver in your league, the most consistent player in fantasy football. I don't think JSN has scored less than 11 fantasy points in half PPR all season long. Let me go back here. Let me make sure. Okay. Yeah. He had 11 1 week. That's it. Everything else has been in the teens and the 20s. So JSN, absolute stud. But you got an 8-3 team. They're number 2 in the division, so they're the number 5 seed. But I still feel like they're better than the Bucs at this point. But the running game, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, you would expect an 8-3 team, to have a fantasy relevant running back, and it doesn't seem like they have a running back that's just absolutely killing it for fantasy. So
but go ahead.
That's the main question. That's the main question right here, Ian. Where you at with Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet the rest of the season?
Well, when it comes to fantasy relevancy, I mean, I think Kenneth Walker has been pretty good. He's been solid in there. Charbonnet, I mean, he's a sketchy flex pick, but in reality, I mean, their run game is the reason their pass game has been so successful, because they have been successful running the ball and
They just don't show up for fantasy.
it
Like
just doesn't really show.
They
For
have
fantasy.
been good.
They have been good. You know, they drive it, and then the defense sells on it, and Sam Darnold makes them pay. You know, JSN is 1-on-1. I mean, everybody who played with him at Ohio State says he's the man. I mean, and he's showing it. You know, he's finally breaking out,
so
and Sam Darnold is good. And I'm gonna I'll give a little hand clap to Mike McDonald, the new coach over there, dude. He doesn't get talked about a lot, man, and I think it's got a lot to do with him and that culture. And I mean,
he's not even in the top. He's not even in the top 3 of Coach of the Year right now, which I think is crazy. I mean, you got Mike Vrabel and Ben Johnson. They've been very good, but you know, McDonald should be up there. But
he should be right behind those two, if not, you know, in front of one of them. I mean, because he's got this team together, man. It's hard to do with a first time head coach, but when it comes to
one fantasy relevant player really with JSN, because Kenneth Walker's the RB24. I mean, he's a flex play. Back end RB2. Zach Charbonnet scores all the touchdowns, but I can say this about Mike McDonald, and everybody hates on it because of fantasy. Kenneth Walker has been better, but it's not showing up for fantasy. Last year he averaged 3.7 a carry. This year he's at 4.6. Like Ian said, they're better. It's just not showing up. It's just not showing up on your fantasy points. So
and 4.6 yards per carry isn't bad. I mean, it's actually really good. It's just, I guess it's just the touchdowns. Like, what is? I mean, he's at 1, 2, 3.
Charbonnet scoring all the touchdowns. I mean, you just can't, like, Kenneth Walker isn't catching a whole lot of passes, so you're not getting the fantasy relevance from that. And then you're just getting the rushing yards. It's like having Derrick Henry on your team, and they sub another running back in on the goal line to take all the carries.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what Kenneth Walker is. He's Derrick Henry without the touchdowns. So it's going to kill you for fantasy when somebody's in there stealing everything. And then Charbonnet becomes almost irrelevant to start because he's averaging like 30 yards a game with a touchdown. So at best, you know, he's a Tyler Algier for your team where you're getting 9-10 fantasy points if he scores. So it's just they're just killing each other. But as far as the Seahawks go, man, that big surprise on the season for sure.
What about Cooper Kupp being there, man? I mean, he's pretty much been irrelevant. But do you think he's one of the reasons JSN is kind of doing as good as he is? You think, you know, they gotta respect Cooper? And
I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on why Seattle's offense is so unstoppable, because you got the one guy out there with JSN. The running game is pretty decent, but I mean, Sam Darnold, I get, you just have to look at Sam Darnold like he's a really good quarterback, but but when he plays a team that's very good, like the Rams, that's what scares me. He threw 4 interceptions in that game, 3 or 4 interceptions, and it's like
a lot of people threw a bunch of interceptions versus the Rams.
But when it comes to the playoffs, just like the Vikings last year, they were 14-3 going into the playoffs and got absolutely destroyed by the Rams. So I'm wrong about where Seattle's gone, but I can see in the playoffs Sam Darnold turning back into a pumpkin and shit going down.
Yeah, he's proven that he can do it in the regular season, and that, you know, he could make big plays and win games, but it all comes down to that damn January, February into December when you're playing for the Bucks, and you got to get that experience. You got to win those games, man. And if you could do it, and it takes a whole team, man. It's not just one person. It takes the whole team, dude. So that's what makes the sport so difficult. Is everybody's got to be locked in, and you got to have that leader at the helm, dude. And I guess we'll see if Sam Darnold. I don't think they're Super Bowl worthy this year, but they damn sure showed us that they're competitive.
He's getting paid again, probably. Well, I actually think he got paid a decent bit. He got like a 3-year, $110 million or something. He got paid. So the Vikings are looking pretty dumb right now. We'll hit on them here in a minute, but we'll spend some time on these next couple of teams because they are super relevant and have a lot of fantasy relevant players. But once we get down to the bums, then we'll hit it a little quicker. But in the 6th seed, you got the Green Bay Packers, our team. Good record, 8-3-1 with a tie to the Cowboys, which don't look so bad right now the way the Cowboys are playing. But only one game back of the Bears, or half a game back, if you want to say it like that. But what do you think about the Packers? Like fantasy relevance, Jordan Love has been. You don't really want to play him in redraft, except for last week. On Thanksgiving he had a really good game. But Matthew Golden, I would say, big disappointment, very big disappointment. But
not to me. I mean, he's a rookie, dude. Like you can't put people put too much stock in these fucking rookies, dude. And it's like, oh, he's gonna be the savior of the city. No, man, he's a rookie. You know what I mean? There's a lot of mouths to feed over there, and I think he's gonna be good. That's just the Packers' way. I mean, they spread the ball around, and I think he's gonna come into his own. But I mean, Romeo Dobbs.
Wasted a fantasy pick, though.
Yeah, if you picked him in fantasy, depending on where you got him, I mean, he hasn't been very relevant. I mean, none of the receivers really have. I mean, Dobbs has been.
He's been Dobbs.
Been Dobbs.
But Christian Watson, oh my God. Since he has came back, he has been great. I mean, if you picked him up on free agency, kudos to you, and you've been playing him every single week. But Christian Watson has been absolutely eaten, and I'm just glad that we re-signed him to a 2-year extension. And
me too.
People thought it was crazy paying him $13 million a year, but it's like you look at this team right now, and Christian Watson is definitely the best receiver that we have right now.
Yeah, man, for sure. I mean, he's got the boxy, he's got the separation. He'd go up and get the balls, contested catches. He kind of does it all, man. And he's definitely going to be one of those players that I feel just for watching him that when it comes down to crunch time, he's going to be one of those guys you can rely on. Like, go out there, get open, and he'll get the ball. But, fantasy relevancy, I think you start Christian Watson every week.
Josh Jacobs, and that's it.
Josh Jacobs, yeah. Josh is the number 8 running back.
About where you drafted him at. I mean, he's been consistent.
Yeah, dude. And Tucker Kraft, I hate that he went down, man. If you had Tucker Kraft, you were looking like a genius. And but Musgrave has been doing decent. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to fantasy relevancy, I mean, Jordan Love is hit or miss.
Well, here's my question for you, though. And Jaden Reed, he comes back, back off IR. The way this wide receiver core looks with Wicks making plays here and there, that's kind of his MO. He makes big plays. He drops passes. He made a really big play for us this week, but Wicks is fantasy irrelevant for the most part. If Jaden Reed comes back off IR, practices all week, come next week, say he starts Wednesday, full practice all the way through, is Jaden Reed just in your lineup? I'll give you a couple. I'll give you a name. Like, is Jaden Reed starting in your flex spot over guys like Alec Pierce, maybe Josh Downs, Parker Washington for the Jaguars, that kind of names like that you're playing every week. You don't feel great. You don't feel comfortable with it. But what are you giving Jaden Reed a week? Or are you throwing him right in there when he comes back?
Me, I usually give him a week, man. I usually give him a week. Sometimes it bites, sometimes it doesn't. But I usually don't start them as soon as they come off, unless it's a really big name guy, like Justin Jefferson or somebody like that. I mean, even. But yeah, I usually give him the week, dude. It's hard for me to start him coming right in, especially he hasn't showed anything this year really yet. So I got him on my dynasty team, but I definitely won't be starting him ASAP. I mean, they got Chicago and Denver the next 2 weeks, and then Chicago again. So it's not it's not easy sledding. I mean, Chicago's pass defense isn't great.
And we got Denver.
Yeah. Chicago, Denver, Chicago, Baltimore, Minnesota. So, yeah.
We got a tough schedule.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
So,
got a very, very tough schedule. I knew we played Chicago twice. I didn't remember seeing Denver in there. I knew we played Baltimore, but yeah, Denver's going to be a tough matchup. But we'll go ahead and move on. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough game right there. Two big defenses. I'd take the under on that game wherever the hell it's at. wherever they set the under at. It's gonna be like 40.5 or something like that for that game. But all right, Ian. I would say the team we hate the most other than the Bears, San Francisco 49ers. They just keep getting it done with their easy-ass schedule. They don't play no damn body. Ian, look up their schedule right quick so we can just hate on 49ers. I mean, Brock Purdy goes out there on Monday night, throws 3 interceptions, and they have no chance of losing because the Panthers are just straight trash coming from the NFC South. But damn, man, McCaffrey, I bet you wish you had him in fantasy. I mean,
yeah, dude.
number one running back, here at it again. He just gets so much fucking work. It's crazy. And
so let's see, let me go back to why you talk. We'll go back to our draft and see where he went. And I feel like I had the opportunity to get him, but no, actually I didn't. But if he would
have drafted him anyway. You're
scared. I was worried, dude. I wasn't sure if I would have took the hit, but if Jinty would have been gone, I probably would have took him over Bucky Irvin or Jacobs. You know, it's just, but he's just hurt me. He's hurt me, and it's like every other year, and you never know. But he's a stud, dude, and he shows us why he is what he is. And yeah, if you got him, you probably got him in the back of the first round, and you could ask for better, or he got traded to you after during week 1, and it just,
man, if Noah had him on his team, Noah's like number 3 in average O's right now, but he traded him straight up for Chase Brown as soon as that thing come out that his calf was bothering him. But man, Christian McCaffrey, like that's one player, like you look in your fantasy lineup, and it's been like that for years when he's healthy. You don't even worry about it. Like he's in there, and you know that his bad games are going to be like 14 points. Like if he doesn't score a touchdown, he's going to get 60 rushing yards and 50 receiving yards with like 6 receptions, and you're going to be just fine. I mean, he's one of one in the receiving game. I have not seen, when I get on Prize Picks every week, it's not even close with the running backs. His receiving yards is always set at like 45 receiving yards as a running back.
I feel like the only person that's even close is probably Jahmyr Gibbs.
You can double check me on this, Ian. Go ahead and get on that app. But I want to say that Christian McCaffrey has more receptions than any player in the entire league right now. But I might be wrong about that. I want to say I saw that somewhere. He's sitting at 81. He's at 81 receptions right now. And JSN, the number 1 receiver, he is at 80 receptions this season.
Hold on, let me see. I messed it up. Let's go. What do you say, receptions?
Yeah, receptions. Christian McCaffrey's at 81, and Jackson Smith-Njigba is at 80. So if you're playing in a full PPR league, it's straight up ridiculous the points that you're getting. So, and Amon-Ra, another great reception leader, he's sitting there. I mean, you got 75 receptions. So,
yeah, dude, you got so you got Jamar Chase with 86, Christian McCaffrey with 81. JSN, Puka.
But Chase has already played this week, so
that's true. And I mean, Christian McCaffrey is the only running back for a mile and a half. I mean, it just there's no other running backs even close when it comes to receptions. Devon Achane is next with 54. You know,
He's going to get over 100 receptions this year. He's going to be 1,000 and 1,000 again.
He's the whole offense there, dude. He's the whole offense. And Kittle, and I mean, Kittle is an X factor. You know, he blocks what needs to block. He does whatever they need to do, and he brings the energy every time. But other than McCaffrey, I mean, who else do you start? Brock Purdy, Kittle,
Juwan Jennings on occasion. Ricky Pearsall's been disappointing since he's came back, so it's really just McCaffrey and Kittle. But Ian, I can smile. I can freaking smile. I'm so freaking happy to get off of talking about the stupid 49ers bastards. And we'll go ahead and move on to the Detroit Lions out of the playoffs right now. Look at them. Look at them sitting there at the number 8 seed. We done swept them on the season. The Green Bay Packers done won 2 out of the 2 games they played against the Lions. Lions are 7-5 right now. A game out of the playoffs. Amon-Ra. I mean,
that sucks.
It does suck. Never want to see it, but it ain't a big deal. He's out for 1 or 2 weeks.
Okay,
a big injury for Amon-Ra. So
sucks for the fantasy season though. There's only
How
many more weeks we got the fantasy season before
we got 2 weeks. We got this week and next week into the playoffs.
And then playoffs. Okay.
You might have them back for your playoffs, but as far as the Lions go, Ian, you touched on it earlier. We can probably hit on them quick because you talked about Ben Johnson, how their offense has kind of subsided a little bit, like they've kind of gone down. But Jahmyr Gibbs, he's still super relevant. He's great. David Montgomery, he goes as the offense goes, and if they're not scoring as much as they did last year, he's not gonna do it for fantasy. That's pretty much it. Montgomery's a touchdown scorer. Yeah,
a big thing for them, dude. They lost Sam Laporta, and that really hurt. You know, their offensive line is still really good, but it just doesn't have the boxing that it has. I mean, I think Jameson Williams is definitely going to be somebody that you can start without question next couple of weeks with Amon-Ra gone. I mean, and I think if they get the balls in the Jameson Williams' hand more often, you know, it could be very explosive. They could do some crazy stuff. But, I mean, it's still a good offense. Jared Goff, he's, you know, still a top tier.
Jared Goff.
He's still a top quarterback, you know, and, I mean, it's hard to bench him. But Gibbs is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they're not in the playoffs. I don't want to see them. But, shit. The Bears, I don't even know, man. I feel like we got a better chance against the Bears.
I'm going to give you the question because the NFC playoff picture is looking a lot more dire than the AFC. So you got to tell me one team that ain't going to make it. That's all I'm asking for. The team that's not going to make the playoffs. You got the Seahawks, the Bears, the Packers, 49ers, and the Lions. One team got to be out.
Seahawks, Bears, Packers, 49ers, and Lions.
One team's got to be out. Unless Dallas makes a run.
Dallas is maybe. But out of those teams, I want to say the Niners.
You seen that schedule, though? Look at the Niners. Look at the Niners schedule though, and answer me that again because the Niners.
That's true.
I'll give it to you right quick. So the Niners got Cleveland, and then they got a bye. Then they got the Titans, the Colts, Chicago, and Seattle. So
exactly. Yeah, I mean that's a tough schedule. That's a tough schedule, but I mean it's all. I mean.
We got it tough too.
We do, but I feel like just the Niners just have so many key players out on defense with Fred Warner and Bosa. I mean, I feel like they're struggling to keep up, and Seattle, like we talked about. I mean, I feel like
it's close. They can't keep getting away with this, Ian. They can't keep getting away with it.
The 49ers.
That's what I said during the Panthers game when the Panthers intercepted them like 3 times and still lost by 14 or whatever it was. I was like, they can't keep getting away with this.
I know.
49ers.
I don't know what it is, but I out of all them, I mean, because their schedule really isn't tough. What's Detroit's schedule? I mean, I still feel like Detroit is good, but Detroit's got to see the Cowboys, the Rams, the Steelers, Vikings, and Bears. And I just feel like the Niners.
I think Detroit might be out, man. I think Detroit might be out.
I think Detroit is out. It might be Detroit.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think. There's a lot of good teams. One of them ain't gonna make it. But Ian, let's hit on these other teams right quick. Well, we can spend some time on the Cowboys because Dak's incredible. George Pickens is looking like a freaking beast. He's a number 2 receiver in fantasy this year. CeeDee Lamb's getting it going now that he's, if he can stop dropping passes. We talked about this a little bit on the last one, so you weren't on, but man, we were going off on Jerry Jones, and so I think all of us came to the conclusion that he ain't as dumb as people think he is.
He's got some very unorthodox methods, but man's been doing it a long time, and
made some good moves, man. The defense is looking better.
He did.
George Pickens over Metcalf, like the Steelers get rid of Metcalf, and Metcalf ain't shit, and George Pickens is absolutely killing it. Like, where's the hate? Where's the hate for the Steelers owner?
Well, I feel like Pickens. The reason he's doing way better is because he's got a quarterback that's way better. I mean, Pickens hasn't really had a great quarterback. I mean,
very true.
And when it comes,
but number 2 receiver wise, is George Pickens is he that good to be the number 2 fantasy receiver? Like, come next year, is he going to be drafted as the number 2 fantasy wide receiver?
I mean,
over CeeDee Lamb? Over Amon-Ra?
I doubt it. I mean, but it's hard to say, dude, because he could be really good. I don't think he's going to get drafted way up there. I mean, somebody might take a chance on him, but I think he's going to be in that group that's like, yeah, they were great last year, but you can't go off of last year, and it's going to be one of those
like
people
JSN.
Yeah, I mean, but there's always the outliers, But I think he should get the recognition that he deserves because he is doing great and he looks great out there, dude. And he's tough. He does some dumb stuff, but he wins football games. And I think one of the reasons is because CD is so prolific that he deserves so much attention. And Dak is just throwing darts right now. And
underrated, man. I
don't think he's underrated. I mean, everybody talks about Dak every year. He just can't win the dance. He just can't win the big games. I mean, fantasy relevance. Yeah. He's always in there.
You're right, but he's underrated in fantasy also. He gets drafted late after the 8th round every year, and this guy's had like 5 top 5 performances in fantasy, and he's on the road for another top 5 quarterback this year. I mean, he's a guy that you want every single year. And you got guys like Kyler Murray getting drafted over him in fantasy every time. And Jordan Love's going over him. Caleb Williams going over him. Caleb Williams had a decent year, but like where did Dak go ahead and look at that average Joe's draft? Where did Dak go? And what quarterbacks did he go after in our draft this year?
Before I touch on that, I want to touch on this because this is why Dak loses fantasy relevancy, because he's an every other year guy. Going back to
injuries, though.
We'll say 2019. 2019, he was the QB2. The next year, he only played 5 games. He was 32. Next year, 16 games, number 8. 12 games, got injured again, 18. 2023, he was the QB3. He got injured again in 24. He's 31. He's played 12 games this year. He's number 3. So I think
if he plays, I mean, you got Joe Burrow always going over him. Joe Burrow gets injured every other year. Why is Dak not in the conversation with them guys like Burrow and Lamar Jackson and stuff like that when you come fantasy draft? Because I think me and you both were shooting for Dak Prescott in our redraft. Brad ended up dropping him based on his biases because he hates Cowboys. But
yeah.
I mean, thank you, Brad, for dropping him and letting him get on my team so I don't have to start Jordan Love every week. But he was drafted. He was drafted late again. But
Yeah, I mean, he was. Go ahead.
I don't know. I was just gonna say, if you're done with the Cowboys, we can move on. But I guess we got to mention Javonte Williams. He's been freaking awesome.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, go back to what you were saying about why he gets drafted behind those guys. I mean, it's hard to say, man. I don't know, because you're right. I want to say it's because the injury every other year, but Burrow's the same way. But I mean, it's just I don't know.
I think we got to start looking at him as Joe Burrow. I mean, you got to start picking him, and you got to start picking him early. And he might have some injuries that may cause some disruption, but there's a lot of quarterbacks that aren't injured that are playing a lot worse that you don't even want to play every single game of your fantasy league. But Ian, let's move on. We'll hit these quick.
Well, Javonte Williams, like you were saying, I mean, I think Javonte is probably one of the better picks, the later picks that if you pick Javonte, I mean, I know we didn't ever really talk about him, and I think he's one of the shining stars that showed up in the draft, and everybody was like, damn.
Obvious.
He's been great.
It's almost so damn obvious. You play him for a good offense. You know, Rico Dowdle went off with him last year, but Ian, I'm going to name some other teams you hit. I'm going to name the next three teams. You just hit what you think is relevant for these teams because they're pretty much out of the playoffs as we speak, unless the Panthers do something. You got the Panthers, Falcons, and Vikings. Just say what you want to say about them teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Panthers are a couple of years off, man. I think Bryce Young is kind of coming in too, and he's actually a player that I kind of want to target a dynasty. Bryce Young, because I feel like he's kind of getting there, and that team is starting to show some stuff. The Falcons, they're the Falcons. They do every year. I mean, Penix was looking good. Drake London was starting to show out. Drake went down. Penix went down. Bijan is always going to be great. Kyle Pitts just can't get it together. And
Vikings.
And the Vikings.
What if I told you that Wan'Dale Robinson is better in fantasy than Justin Jefferson?
I'd say bullshit.
Well, it's true.
That's crazy.
We were 1 year too early. Back to where we went wrong. Last year, when Sam Darnold came in, I was like, man, Justin Jefferson, he ain't gonna be that great with Darnold. He just ain't got it. And then this year comes around, JJ McCarthy's the starter. I'm sitting there thinking, I think it's just the Vikings offense. Like, they can just get it going. Kevin O'Connell will figure it out. We'll figure the quarterback position out, and their offense is going to be clicking. Then now Justin Jefferson wants to play like dog shit, which I was projecting a year ago.
Last year.
Yeah, last year. And then I was high on Jefferson this year. So, like, JJ McCarthy has played as bad. On this podcast, me and Matt give more hell to Anthony Richardson than any other player that has came across since we started this podcast. JJ McCarthy is just as bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I was wrong about him too.
Well, and that's the thing, like putting stock in these young guys, and it's always hard to tell, but yeah, I mean, JJ definitely hasn't panned out to what we thought he was going to be. Whether it's injuries, and I don't know if I came on here and said it, but I consider Justin Jefferson a kingmaker, dude. Like before this year, I mean, Justin Jefferson has had, I can't remember exactly how many, but like 6 or 8 different quarterbacks that he's played with throughout his career, and he's still played elite, dude. And it's just it's bewildering why it's just not there this year, dude. And I think JJ is just so raw, and he's got to figure it out. But
he's a wide receiver 16 on the year. He's behind, like I said, Wan'Dale. He's behind Jalen Waddle, Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams has put up 3 goose eggs, 3 0-point games.
Damn.
And he's behind Jameson Williams. He's behind Chris Olave, Michael Pittman.
Damn.
Ted McMillan.
Ted's been somebody that he's been really good. Like out of all the rookies, I mean, he's on Emeka Egbuka's butt, dude, and he doesn't get the recognition. I mean, I think he's just one spot back from Emeka.
He's 1 point away in fantasy.
Exactly, dude. And
they're identical.
He's been a sleepy good rook. And but yeah, dude, I don't know what happened with the Vikings. But I mean, I think JJ McCarthy has the talent. I think he's just super raw. And I don't know. The Vikings, they got Thielen back this year. And I don't know. I just think their other receivers just aren't as great.
They got Addison, who ain't doing a whole lot, but I mean, it all comes back down to the quarterback play, and JJ McCarthy just hasn't been worth a shit. I mean, just say it how it is. Like he's been terrible.
Out and in. Yeah, he's been out and in. I mean, he was injured, and I mean, they did pretty good with Carson Wentz, but I think it was Wentz, wasn't it?
Yeah, Wentz was actually, putting up some fantasy value for these players, like with the Vikings. But, after that, after Wentz went out, it's just been straight trash. I mean, there really ain't nobody you want to start on this whole entire team. Aaron Jones has been halfway decent, but really, otherwise, it ain't been that good. But, Ian, you want to move on to the bottom of the bottom, like the shittiest teams?
Sure.
All right. We got the Cardinals, Commanders. Commanders took a fall from grace. Saints and the Giants. Anything you want to hit on that? The Commanders have been banged up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cardinals, I mean, Dowdle's good. Tet's good.
The Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals. Tet's good. Dowdle's good. For some reason,
Cardinals.
Okay. All right, the Cardinals. I don't want anybody. I don't want anybody.
Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride. They all been going the fuck off with Jacoby Brissett.
They have. I mean, Brissett's come in and brought some new life to that team, and they're just barely losing. I mean, they just can't put a win together. I mean, I think Marvin Harrison is great. Trey McBride is scoring touchdowns.
You don't even know who the Cardinals are, man. Who are the Cardinals?
You don't.
Do they play in Carolina, Ian?
They don't. They don't. They play in Arizona, out there in the desert. And but you said Carolina first. You were talking about like 5 different teams. So I was trying to touch on
it. Yeah, you're right. I got your brain all fucked up. When I name like 4 or 5, you know how they do with the kids? They're like, remember these 5 things, and they tell them like different numbers and recite them back. That's kind of how you were right there. That's all right.
Yeah. But Arizona, man, I don't know. I mean, like you said, I mean they've been going off with Brissett, and I think they got a couple of guys that are really good, but they just can't get a win.
Yeah, they can't do shit. Brissett's been absolutely killing it. I mean, you could throw him in your starting lineup every single week. He's the only quarterback this year that has finished in the top 12 6 weeks in a row. Ian, did you know that stat?
No, I didn't.
He has finished in the top 12 quarterbacks 6 weeks in a row. That's better than anybody in the league, even Josh Allen. So Brissett is definitely a guy that you can play almost every single week until things change. But I think that, Ian, there's a couple other teams, unless you want to talk about them. Commanders, I mean, the running backs are irrelevant.
Yeah, you start Debo. Other than that,
it's bad in the Saints. You got Chris Olave over there. The running backs have been irrelevant. And with the Giants, Jackson Dart has been a freaking stud. But I got to ask you that before we get off on this NFC, though. Jackson Dart, is he in your fantasy lineup over guys like
he's not starting. He's not playing.
Yeah, he's back this week. He's clear concussion.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Dart's really good.
You're putting him over guys like Justin Herbert. You're putting him over guys like Jacoby Brissett, which we mentioned. Shit, Lamar Jackson at this point.
It's hard to say, but like this week I'm not putting him anywhere. I mean, he doesn't have the receivers. They do good. He can get some shit with his legs.
He's been so damn good when you play him, though.
He has. He's been a stud. I think in Dynasty, he's a definite go out and get him type guy.
Ain't nobody gonna trade you. But with the starts that he's had, 4 starts, I'm gonna read you off his fantasy numbers: 21, 22, 25, 35, 21, 31, 27.
Damn.
That's a QB1.
Yeah. Super solid. I mean, amazing.
That's some really, Josh Allen numbers right there.
Yeah, he's been
for the last team, for the very last team we talk about, the worst team in the NFC.
Yeah, one of the best quarterbacks, and he's a rookie. And I mean, yeah, dude, I think he's super solid, but it's hard to say. I mean, I think you got to start him over some people like Herbert. Probably Herbert's not been doing great. Brissett maybe.
I like the QB 4 or 5 on the season now. Give Herbert credit. Yeah, give him his credit, man.
He's doing good, man. I mean, he's my quarterback, and I hadn't been upset with him. It's just the Chargers are doing the Chargers stuff again.
Yeah,
and they get to this point in the season, and they look great early on, and they start losing.
Shitting the break.
Start shitting the break, but no, Jackson Dart is a stud. I think if you got him, you should probably start him, and he's doing it without Malik Neighbors. I mean. So that's huge.
That is huge. But Ian, I got to tell you before we get off on this episode, who is representing the NFC? I'm gonna give you the who's representing in the NFC Championship and who's representing the NFC in the Super Bowl this year. What 2 teams going to the NFC Championship? What teams going to the Super Bowl from the NFC?
Well, I think right now LA Rams are a lock. In my opinion, and then honestly, let me pull it back up. We got sorry, let me see these standings.
I gotta say, for me, it's gonna be the Rams and the Eagles.
And I was thinking the Eagles, but it's gonna be tough. But honestly. All biased aside, I mean, I think it's the Rams and either the Eagles or the Packers. I honestly do. And then I think representing NFC in the Super Bowl is going to be the Rams. I mean, they look unstoppable. They look great right now. They're going to be a hard team to beat.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. Like they don't get talked about enough, but they're the most balanced team in the NFL. You got a great running game. Unstoppable receivers, one of the MVP at quarterback right now, and it's just going to be tough to beat them. I mean, the way that they're rolling. So I'm kind of with you on that one. But Ian, you got anything to say before we log off? I guess I'll just say appreciate everybody for listening, and we're going to talk about the AFC in the next episode, and there's going to be a lot of shit we talk about on where we're right, where we're wrong on that one too, because it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of players on that side where it was like, I can't believe I made that damn pick that early.
Yep. Man. Yeah. No, just as always, I appreciate y'all having me on. It's always a pleasure. Get on here, get to talk ball, and just shoot the shit, dude. But yeah, dude, it's the best time of the year. It's getting cold outside. Every game matters now, and it's going to change. It's going to change again. Every week it's going to be somebody else fighting for it, dude. And we'll see who comes out on top, man. And as always, don't be a hoe. Share the show. Thanks for listening. We got to go.
All right. Peace.